But without further ado, now let's dive into our featured story of the day and discuss the latest with Max Keiser exposing the truth about BlackRock and Bitcoin. Here we go. Shout out to the high priest. He recently was doing an interview. This is like a glimpse of it. And I transcribed it for you guys word for word. And I shared it on X. It's already getting a lot of retweets and such. You can check it out later. But here's what he said. BlackRock is terrible. They're one of the worst players on Wall Street. So someone just nonchalantly asked him, what are your thoughts on BlackRock? And this is what he said. They're completely without morals whatsoever. Their business model is just repackaging stocks and selling them as ETFs. Their ETFs own more stocks than there are stocks, and they charge a fee for that and have incredible political influence they use to make it easier for them to game the system. They are really a plague on capitalism. Now, Max is speaking facts right here. He also been tweeting all day regarding these ETFs. So here's what he wrote. Quick reminder, when you buy any of the Bitcoin ETFs, you're buying into an index product that tracks the price. You don't actually own any BTC. That's right. You get the IOU version of it while they keep in custody the real deal. Now, he also wrote, when you buy any of the Bitcoin ETFs, you're buying into an index product. Yes, so we just covered that one. He also wrote, I predict these ETFs will be seized by the federal government in the interest of national security, and ETF holders will be made whole with either USD or CBDC, which we all know is central bank digital currency. So he also says, once Coinbase has custody of all the ETF BTC, they will close their on-ramp for users to buy and take custody of Bitcoin on their exchange, asking the question. We got about 3,000 votes in which 56% of the people said no, and about 44% of the people said yes. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the chat. He also tweeted, someone wrote, Max, do we know what percentage actual Bitcoin these funds will be required to hold? Max responding, it doesn't matter. Once they get seized, the feds will own the BTC. So he is pretty confident that all of that Bitcoin is going to be seized by the feds. Now, where were you at the launch of the Bitcoin Futures ETF? And this is in response to the SEC's tweet, which is alarming. 7 hours ago, the SEC tweeted, say no go to FOMO. Just because others might buy a particular investment doesn't mean it's the right opportunity for you. Learn more about finding out what's right for you and your investing goals. Max responded, where were you at the launch of the Bitcoin Futures ETF? A known extremely high-risk garbage product not suitable for any retail investor. Pathetic you are. I mean, Jedi Master Yoda couldn't have said it better himself. He also wrote the two most common traits of Bitcoin ETF buyers. Number one, they don't understand Bitcoin. And number two, they don't understand ETFs. Preach. He also wrote, President Bukele figured out long ago that Bitcoin is a central bank and a fiat money killer. He made Bitcoin legal tender, and El Salvador is thriving. We say goodbye, IMF. The next big thing coming next week. Now, what do you think the next big thing is going to be? I think with all the hints he's been sharing is going to be a spot Bitcoin ETF with Bitcoin in and Bitcoin out. That puts to shame all the garbage ETFs awaiting approval in the United States. But let me know your thoughts, fam. Now, VJ wrote, ETF Pro, massive influx of capital drawing global savings into an inflation-resistant store value. Everything has pros and cons, right? Advantages and disadvantages, but here's the con. Increase the custodial concentration risk, the main reason why gold became vulnerable to state attack. We must work to mitigate the latter risk as much as possible, because look at this. You have all the applicants listed here. And look, Coinbase is virtually going to be the custodian for the majority of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gemini is 1 for Van Eck. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 of the top ones, it's all Coinbase. Very sus. Now, Fidelity is self-custody, which is interesting. Now, other tweets. Alex Jones has been blowing the whistle on BlackRock for a very long time, and now he's back reinstated on X. Shout out to the real Alex Jones. The UN has officially adopted the BlackRock plan to forcefully establish a corporate governance system called ESG. It does not matter what country you're in, it's all the same. Every evil agenda is coming directly from this group. That's why you see the open insanity of men competing against women in boxing across the world. And yeah, if you didn't know, USA Boxing is now allowing biological men to fight women. You can't make this ish up. United States, what's going on? BlackRock will pull funding if the organizations do not follow the ESG directive. Destabilizing the male-female ecosystem is key to their depopulation agenda. We're dealing with a death cult. That's quoting Jones. He also tweeted, "This is extremely important information. Know your enemy. If people will just read what BlackRock and the World Economic Forum are saying and doing, will be game over for them. They are openly pushing a dystopian plan for the world. The communist Chinese-style COVID lockdowns were just a beta test. Read the globalist plan to use a novel virus as a pretext to launch a planetary police state controlled by the UN. We are here now." And he has another tweet I'm going to read. "BlackRock is the conductor controlling over 85% of planetary wealth. 99% of the Fortune 500 take direct orders from BlackRock. Larry Fink openly brags about how he controls our behavior through the ESG regime. Their public goal is a 90% reduction in population. Men like Fink and Gates must be exposed. It's time to take our power back. The lockdowns, the poison shots, the open borders, the new wars, the tax on the family, it all comes from this death cult. The parasite class has stolen the world and now want most of us dead. They are coming for all of us. This is total war." Let me know if you agree or disagree with the sentiment from Alex Jones and Max Keiser. And now I want to read you this bullish price target that the Bitcoin price can surge to $500,000 per coin with the launch of the ETF. This is important because we may get the ETF approval as soon as a few days from now, potentially within the next 48 hours. So here we go. Fox journalist Eleanor Terrett reports that the amended 19B4 filings and last-minute phone calls regarding the comments on the S1s and possible launch dates are expected in the coming days. And while the approvals seem likely in the next week, according to Terrett, the timeline ultimately depends on the SEC's ability to review the comments and amendments submitted efficiently. She described the current situation as a meticulous process of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, emphasizing the attention to the detail required by regulatory clearance. Now, on the other hand, we have crypto analyst Adam Cochran offering valuable insights into the potential impact of the Bitcoin ETFs, as all signs point to the imminent approval of these investment products. Cochran suggests that many may overestimate the short-term effects of ETF approval while underestimating its long-term implications. In the immediate aftermath, market flows may not witness a significant surge. However, Cochran believes that investment advisors will review their clients' portfolios over the next year and recommend diversifying even a small percentage, such as 1%, into the ETF. Cochran emphasized that the Bitcoin price performance with a remarkable 157% return in the latter half of 2023 will be a key factor driving investor interest. He envisions a gradual upward trajectory for the Bitcoin price, characterized by persistent growth and occasional market volatility. Now, ultimately, Cochran's long-term forecast indicates a potential Bitcoin price surge to $500,000 per coin. Send it, leaving the sideline investors regretfully waiting for a substantial market correction, quoting him here. Also, ETFs result in spot buys, not leverage, which improves the system health and are long-term hodlers less likely to sell volatility. So it creates a slow grind up for the underlying market health, like the best DCA you can ask for, talking about dollar cost averaging. Now, crypto analyst Ali Martinez suggests that the pricing of potential Bitcoin ETF may not have been fully realized, providing insight into the current state of the Bitcoin market. Mr. Martinez points to a deadline in the estimated leverage ratio across all the exchanges reaching a 2-year low. Can we have a supply shock? I think so. This indicates the Bitcoin traders are adopting a more cautious approach, reducing their use of borrowed funds as they await regulatory clarity on the ETF. So right now we have all eyes on this ETF approval. The level is reinforced by approximately 2.41 million addresses holding over 1 million BTC, creating a substantial support zone right now. The significant number of addresses with substantial Bitcoin holdings suggests a strong interest in maintaining the crypto's value, providing a foundation for market stability. That's right. And right now, the majority of the Bitcoin is in the hands of the long-term hodlers. So where my diamond hands at? With the laser eyes, make some noise. Martinez notes that the resistance levels ahead for Bitcoin appear relatively minor. This implies that fewer significant barriers are impeding the potential price increases. And with reduced resistance, the market conditions become more and more favorable for stable or rising prices, further supporting the bullish sentiment. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding on Max Keiser blowing the whistle, telling us the truth about BlackRock and behind their evil agenda with these Bitcoin ETFs? And ultimately, no one of you guys are going to have access to the actual real underlying assets. It's going to be custodianed by Coinbase, as they're going to be the largest holder. And then do you think the government will just confiscate them all and then ban self-custody, which is clearly the agenda? Not saying that's going to happen, but it's clear if you can read between the lines. And let me know your thoughts with what Alex Jones has to share with blowing the whistle against BlackRock as well, and also surrounding this $500,000 price prediction off the back of the ETF approval. We also have Samson Mao, founder of Jan3, predicting we can hit as high as $1 million per coin within days or weeks after the approval of the ETF, which can potentially be within the next 48 hours. Let me know your thoughts, fam.